If you've ever worked your heart out only to be underpaid, underestimated, or flat out ignored, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this is one of the most satisfying workplace revenge stories you'll ever hear. You're not ready for a promotion. Maybe next year. A year later, I walked into his office with my resignation letter and a job offer paying twice his salary. He asked, "How much are they paying you?" I told him. He went pale and said, "That's more than I make." That was the day I realized loyalty means nothing to people who don't respect your worth. I started out like a lot of people, young, hungry, and idealistic. Fresh out of school, I landed a job as an engineer for a major defense contractor. It sounded impressive, the kind of job that made your parents proud at family gatherings. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Once you're in, you're stuck. The raises? 2, maybe 4% a year, if you were lucky. Promotions? They moved slower than molasses in January. Still, I told myself, keep your head down, work hard, and it'll pay off. Spoiler, it didn't. After 4 years, I was maxed out, financially and emotionally. The work was repetitive, the recognition non-existent. So I went to my boss, let's call him Tom, and said, "I'd like to move into management. I think I'm ready to lead." He smiled that fake corporate smile and said, "Sure, let's give you a chance." That's how I became a project engineer, leading a team of 4 engineers, a designer, and 2 admins. My shot to prove myself. From day one, it was chaos. Deadlines that made no sense. Clients breathing down our necks. I worked like a machine. 100 days that year, gone. Traveling for testing, customer demos, vendor meetings. I barely saw my family, but it was worth it. Or so I thought. We crushed every single goal. We designed and manufactured a new system that raked in $1.6 million in sales in the first year alone. We earned the company a patent. We were even nominated by the U.S. Air Force for a national award as a top DoD technical team. We were flown out to Washington, D.C. for the ceremony. Everyone was beaming. I thought, this is it. This is the moment I finally get what I deserve. My performance review came in. 10 out of 10. I was thrilled. Until I saw what came next. One of my engineers, someone on my team, got promoted early to a senior position. I was happy for him, honestly. He worked hard. But then I looked closer. His raise was massive. Mine? The standard 3% bump. 3%. I had led the team, taken on all the stress, all the travel, all the risk. And they rewarded me like I was just another cog in the machine. I scheduled a meeting with Tom, my boss. I walked into his office, my hands trembling slightly, but my voice steady. "Tom, I don't understand. I managed the entire project and my team crushed it. How was I not considered for promotion?" He leaned back in his chair, crossed his arms, and sighed like I was wasting his time. "Well," he said, "I didn't think your team member deserved that promotion either. But I'm not his manager, so my hands were tied. You'll just have to try again next year." That was the moment something inside me snapped. I walked out of that meeting feeling hollow. All that loyalty, all those missed birthdays, late nights and weekends spent hunched over drawings and reports. For this. So I made a decision. No more overtime, no more missed family dinners, no more bending over backward for people who didn't care. I started doing exactly what I was paid for. Nothing more, nothing less. 40 hours a week, clock in, clock out. I took my vacation days, my sick days, every Friday off I could get away with. And you know what? My mental health skyrocketed. For the first time in years, I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't angry. Just done. But I wasn't stupid either. If they wouldn't invest in me, I'd invest in myself. My coworker, the same one who'd been promoted, had started an MBA program paid for by the company. But there was a catch. He had to stay for several years afterward, or he'd owe them the money back. I didn't want to be trapped like that, so I looked into the company's education budget. Turns out there was another fund, one for software and technical training, and that one didn't have any strings attached. Perfect. I signed up for advanced 3D modeling and FEA courses. The company paid for all of it, travel, hotels, everything. They thought I was leveling up for them. But in my mind, every class, every skill, every certification was another brick in my escape route. About a month after finishing the courses, I started job hunting. Quietly, secretly. I tailored my resume to highlight every single skill I'd just mastered, the same ones my current company had funded. Within weeks, I had an interview with a competitor. They didn't just like me, they loved me. When they sent the offer letter, I thought it was a typo. Base salary, 200% of my current pay, plus overtime. When I added it all up, it came out to triple what I'd been making. Triple. It felt like finally breathing after years underwater. I walked into Tom's office one last time. "Hey, Tom," I said, trying to hide my smile. "Got a minute?" He spun around in his chair, clearly irritated. "What's up?" I placed my resignation letter on his desk. He blinked. "You're leaving?" "Yeah," I said. "Got a new opportunity." His face turned red. "We just paid for you to travel all over for those new classes. You can't just leave now." "Oh, I can," I said calmly. "There were no strings attached." He leaned forward. "Don't you feel any loyalty? Any guilt?" I looked him straight in the eye. "I felt loyalty for 4 years. I felt guilt every time I missed my kid's birthday. And you paid me 3% for it." He slammed his hand on the desk. "How much are they paying you?" "Maybe we can match it," I told him. His jaw literally dropped. "That's more than I make." I smiled. "Yeah, I know." And I walked out, lighter than I'd felt in years. That first year at my new job was life-changing. The money was incredible, sure, but it was more than that. For the first time, I was respected, trusted, paid what I was worth. And the cherry on top? My old company lost several contracts soon after because they didn't have anyone qualified to handle the technical work I used to do. They tried calling me for consulting help. I ignored the call. People love to say loyalty pays off, but here's the truth. Loyalty only pays when it's mutual. The moment I stopped begging to be valued, the world finally started valuing me. If this story gave you goosebumps, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Have you ever gotten revenge by simply walking away and winning? And don't forget to subscribe, because we've got plenty more stories of karma served ice cold.